One.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Talk Battle Rap Podcast, your number one source for battle rap news, stats, and facts on the internet. As always, log on to letstalkbattlerap.com where we will have the exclusive Outsides Day 1 and Day 2 recaps dropping today and tomorrow. And as always, follow us on all socials at LTBR Podcast for the latest news in battle rap. And right now, we got my main man, Franz, who's out there in Virginia where ain't ish to do but cook. And he is going to bring you the exclusive in the building recaps and takeaways from URLs outside day 1 and 2. I am your host, Vlad, and hope you all had a great weekend. But right now, let's get straight into it, man. Franz, what up, player?
Good morning, Vlad. Happy Monday. Out reporting live in VA. You know what I'm saying? I survived. We did it. In my Dora the Explorer voice, we did it.
A 2-day festival, man. You made it through. You sound a little congested, but you made it through though.
Listen, battle rap events are not made for a whole weekend, man. Sometimes it's just like after a weekend, there's no way you don't leave sick. I'm expecting a lot of tweets on the time like, "Oh, I'm sick. I have a flu. This and that." It happens all the time when it's a double header, and luckily I get to stay home for the next 4 weeks, so I could.
Fantastic, Friends. I can't believe, man, post-COVID, that people are still sharing blunts now, passing bottles to one another. Like, I thought we were past this, where it's like people like, hey man, I'm gonna keep my personal germs and diseases to myself and not pass it along to y'all. But no, people are acting like it's 2017 all over again. It's just licking blunts, spitting on them, passing them back and forth to each other. And it's a little kind of concerning, bruh. We're going backwards here.
My favorite part was when you said post-COVID as if it ended yet.
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, as far as the media is concerned, because you don't hear about it. But when I go inside, best believe I'm still masked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to bring that home. But yeah, media ain't talking about it no more. So people think it's gone, but it's still here, player.
Yeah,
the plan is still in effect.
I wouldn't mind some more intimate events where it's a little bit more controlled, calm, slower paced, less physical activity involved, especially if it's going to be a 2-day thing. Because, like, I wasn't as tired for the Orlando weekend, even though that was 3 days, but 2 of those days was in the studio where it was private. You know,
Right.
I had a table, I had a chair, I had to sit down, take notes, and get clips. Like, I feel like that's the best version of like us being beat writers or reporters or journalists in battle rap to cover it, where you get to sit down, watch it, digest it, and report as accurately as you can retain the information live. Feel me? I mean, you've gone to NBA arenas, right? You've gone to watch the Cavs and the Nets and the Knicks. We all see there's a nice little section right above the 100 sections, right? Where it's just like nice little glass area. And that's where all the media is, just sitting down with their notepads.
The press box.
A press box in battle rap would be cool. It happens in some of the private events. They definitely they give you a nice little red carpet, but for the big events, it's like, all right, find a VIP section or find a spot in the crowd you like.
Nah, I feel you. How was it this time though, being amongst the audience? You know, because like you said, for the past few ones, you've been able to sit in the reserve section and do your thing and kick your feet up a little bit and just do the writer thing. But now it's like I saw the clips you were taking. You definitely was in the mix of everyone and standing on your feet for all that time, man. How did it feel this go around?
Yeah, Civil War, they gave us a box. So it was Jay Small's first event with us as LTBR. And so he was like, whoa, we're not even mingling with the mortals. And I'm like, I was about to say, don't get used to it. This is nice, but don't get used to it. This ain't available. This ain't available all the time. This is only reserved for very special individuals, respectfully. And this time around, I was just like, no, let's mix with the people. I found a nice spot in the crowd. A lot of people recognize me, which is always dope. You know what I'm saying? Still a little trippy when you go places and it's like, I don't know who you are, but you know who I am. And you walk up to me and you talk to me as if we know each other. And it's like, then we get cool after we start watching the battle. Or there's people that like from the Twitter spaces like, hey, I'm blank. And it's like, oh,
here's my profile pic. It's a Ferrari.
Yeah.
The Ferrari. That's me.
Do you remember that one dude from the spaces? I think his name was CEO, and he kept talking about like, if y'all ain't watch battle rap from Shay Davis, y'all can't talk to me. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
He was there. He was there.
Okay, all right.
And he walked up to me and goes, let me ask you a question. you know who Shay Davis is? I was
Oh
like,
my gosh, yeah.
and I was like, are you CEO?
Are
He's
you
like,
the
I'm
CEO?
CEO. He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, what up? So it was a lot of that. It was a lot of people that I'm meeting. You know, I'm with Moni too. This is Moni's first official event as LTBR.
Yeah.
So
Shout
I'm
out to
making sure,
Moni, our staff writer.
you know what I'm saying? Big shout outs to her. So I'm taking her around and meet people, and people are actually walking up to her and it's like, you Moni, right? And I'm just like, she's also kind of like shell shocked. And I'm just
Yeah,
like, yo,
especially
this
as a
is
woman. She's like,
yeah,
like, who are you, player?
yeah. So that's
Yo, you know
always
what that reminds me of?
yeah.
The 2K dudes that met up with their online homies and they went to
Oh
his
yeah,
birthday like in real life
yeah,
and he was like,
yeah,
"Oh my god, oh my god." It was like, "Yo, it's us, bro. It's us, bro." I was like,
yeah,
"Yo,
yeah,
this is ridiculous. This is crazy."
yeah, yeah. I mean that part it's really humbling and it's really cool, but it can always get very weird and dangerous very quickly. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Especially
Just
when you're
because.
telling people what hotel you staying at.
Oh,
France. Yo,
hey,
for
listen.
all y'all don't know, man. France had a 3 a.m. show the other night,
Yeah, so
recapping
yeah,
URLs outside day one.
yeah.
Let me just tell y'all, man. France at 3 a.m. It's a different falafel, man. That brother was cutting loose, man.
I
Was
would like to
giving
say that
his
everybody at 3 a.m. is a different falafel.
unabashed opinions. And I was like, oh, this is entertainment at its apex, man. I really enjoyed that show, France. It
I,
was
I would like
fantastic.
I would like to think that everybody at 3 a.m. on a Saturday is a different falafel from the one they normally are. I would like to think
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Fair enough. You
yeah.
know. And to be fair, I did drop the hotel name, but there's a lot of hotels named that in this
Mm,
area, so you don't know which one.
And if y'all want to go check it out, go subscribe to our caffeine channel. And France also challenged Jay Black to a one-off on 15 minutes of fame for the bar exam. But he said first, Mr. Blizzak, you got to do at least one episode so I can gauge whether or not you're a worthy opponent. So in 2023, if y'all want to see Black versus France, or France versus Black, shall I say? You know what I'm saying? My man's the A side over here because he is the champ. Swag champ, you got the belt. Swag champ, you got the belt for the highest total on the bar exam on 15 minutes of fame. So actually, Jay Black is the challenger at this point. So, you know what I'm saying? Black, if you feel like you could take my man's belt, you go on ahead and step up, brother. But good luck, player. Good luck.
Yeah, get through phase 3 of your
Get through the crucible, and then
yeah,
maybe a mid tier or two, and then get
and
you a low tier, top tier, and then maybe you can see my man. You know what I'm saying? That's your
uh,
end game battle right there, man.
there you have it. Then I'll be your final exam. But yeah, that show I did on
Oh,
Saturday was cool. It was a dope show. Just recapping day one. You know, my big takeaways from day one. I actually wrote this down. I'll go ahead and read
let's
it to you.
go.
So I had a handful of takeaways. The first big takeaway I had from day one was Twork's a man on a mission, man. He was the best performer of the night again. This is back to back cards where he's the best performer of the night. And
Mhm.
he's really focused. Didn't do any interviews afterwards. Anwar said he's not doing interviews. Doesn't matter if the performance is good or bad. He just wants to let his performances and the work speak for itself. I respect that.
Absolutely.
All right, let me run through these takeaways, and then we're gonna talk about these battles. So, Av is back in full effect. So, shouts to Av, for God's sakes, that man's a demon. Oh my
Mm.
God. Jade and Don Lady had a dope battle. You know what I'm saying? They really set the tone for the event. Shouts to the ladies. I'm happy to see them always get a plate. Fonz welcome Mackk Myron to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? He got his nice little welcome to the NBA moment he could talk about for years to come. Miss Hustle is at the apex of her game, Vlad. At 10, well, now actually more than 10, 13 years into the game, she's performing at the highest level, which is crazy because, a lot of people hit a peak and try to, chase their career researching that peak. But no, she's at the best she's ever been at right now. Fire. Next showed a lot of heart. I think it's actually the best next I've seen thus far on URL. So I was proud of that performance for him. I wish Ace and Qleen got a chance to finish their battle. The scuffle fucked things up for them, and Ace was really good. And Tru Foe, we're gonna have some words for you as well.
Oh, all right. Okay, man. So day one, man. Those were your takeaways. Now let's go through battle per battle because people value your opinion and stuff like that. You're a pretty fair guy, and you had a chance to kick back and and go over these battles and everything, and give it a second look over and make sure that you weren't caught up in the hyperbolic chamber. So let's run through these quickly, man. Like, talk to me about your favorite battle of the night. Let's start there. Your favorite battle of the night.
Mm, I would have to say my verse and Miss Hustle was probably my favorite battle. It definitely had the best back and forth because
Oh,
everything else felt a little one sided. But I found highlights in Next and Twork, even though I did feel like it was a one sided battle, so I enjoyed that a lot as well.
mhm.
But between those two are definitely my favorites. Um,
Myverse. This is her second go round, on URL. Last time she had First Lady Flames. That battle just dropped. So if y'all haven't checked it out, check it out on the URL TV app.
yes.
So, you saw her first go round, you had some words, and she did great in the second, but the first and the third could have been a little bit better, could have been a little more punch heavier. How did she fare this second go round versus the queen of Harlem, Miss Hustle, who's at the apex, like you said right now?
I got to give her a lot of props because her second round against Hustle was even better than her second round against Flames. She was in a very high pressure situation battling Miss Hustle in her rarest form on the stage where there was a real blowout in the first round. Like my versus first round, it just it's a lot of rapping but no punchlining, a lot of
Mm,
performance but like no similes attached to it. Um, it, it was it's just like it was like you were just listening to a round, really. Like there was nothing in it that was drawing, full fledged attacking, setting any pressure, no angle punches. She got into her angle punches in her second round. Like there was like the first round was just like you know how you've always said it, like if I'm not doing well as a rapper, I would rather the crowd give me negative engagement than no
oh
engagement.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
But
you
she
could
got the
feed off of
no,
that.
yeah, she got no engagement. Like you can hear a pin drop while she's rapping. Like
Ah,
eventually she did get some reaction towards the end of her the back end of her first round.
mhm,
But she had a couple stumbles too because she's like, damn, this is a rough crowd.
mm, yeah.
And it was just like, uh-oh. It
you know
might get
I,
spooky.
I saw her interview with Uncle Rizzle, aka Uncle Ra, and
Yeah.
to her, she felt like her first round was very lyrical and very pen heavy, and that perhaps people either were missing it or were sleeping on it. And to her, she was surprised that the stuff that she thought was more of her simple stuff was getting a bigger reaction. So now she's kind of like, oh, well, do I find a way to dumb it down, or do I just stay true to my hip hop roots and stay heavy with the pen? And she's in the entertainment business, and entertainment business is to evoke emotions and reactions. So, if you're gonna stay heavy with the pen or super lyrical, as you say, you got to find a way to make it connect with the crowd. We got guys like Lux, we have other folks who are very pen heavy and pen driven, but find a way to connect and find a way to deliver it to make the people respect what's being said. So, it's one of those interesting things where it's like you want to stick to your guns, but sometimes it's like you either got to stick to your guns long enough to where people just come around and say, I just love this person, and the super lyrical stuff is what I crave from this person. I gotta make some adjustments and find a way to make that lyrical stuff a little bit more palatable. You know what I mean?
Facts. That's a you could have said any better than I could have because that first round was really like wow. I really feel like we didn't receive anything, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait to watch it back because there probably is some gems in there. She always
Mhm.
has some great multis, some great lyrical acrobats, but against somebody that's EF fucking B, is gonna punch every bar and has all this
Yeah.
energy and performance, like that's not gonna get it done. And if this was like a basketball game at the end of the first quarter, there was like a 22-point deficit.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Oh my god. Now, we started off talking about my verse because
yeah,
she was the one, she's the variable. We've seen Hustle time in and time out in 2022 just punch that clock. I mean, it's been clockwork. Like we spoke about this off air. Like, she's her style has changed up. Like, her punching is just so much stronger now, and the rate of punching and the power of the punches is just ridiculous. She's always been a great performer, great projection, all that
she got
stuff.
she
But
got that special move that You know what I'm saying?
Yo, and them
She
long fingers be, it makes it
she
like so much crazier.
she got the long fingers with the clap and then points it down. Like she is like
Yeah, yeah.
she is like specialized in that.
Yo, you're right. Right.
I got the
Yeah, she
long
the
with
Arsenio
with
Hall fingers here
like
with the oh my,
with a stomp going too. Like it
because
worked.
yo, because remember back in the day, she used to have like that, like I'm revving up kind of thing, like where she would used
Yeah.
to like a bachata kind of move almost, but
Mhm.
now it's like it's the clap, the hands and the dumping of the ruga dumping and all that. But
Yeah.
you know, all jokes aside though, France, like
Yeah.
she really is getting crazy. Like the clips that you sent me personally, the clips that I saw online, it's just like the creativity, man, and the content is just it's just on fire, dog. Like I don't know what to attribute this to, or like what she changed up, or what the routine is. Because we talk about ball players all the time. Like if you've been doing something and you've only reached a certain level or a certain apex, then sometimes you just need to take a summer and just try to learn one new move or two new things. Like that's just how difficult it is to be a professional athlete. And we compare these rappers to athletes all the time. So it's like, I want to salute Miss Hustle for taking that time to really sitting back and working on special moves and just working on everything, because she's getting crazy. And when I told you that the battle that I wanted to see in 2023 is a Jazz and Hustle rematch, Jazz tweeted Hustle and said, yo, you've been getting so crazy that you make me want to kick your ass again, but this time even worse. And I'm like, this ain't no walk in the park, Jazz. Like this is gonna be a dog fight. Like it's gonna this ain't the same Hustle, man. You know what I'm saying? And the more you go out there on that stage, the more people get, like this could be a fight, man. So 2023, man, Hustle continues to do this. It's gonna be bananas, son.
Yeah. No, Hustle. And once she kind of set the tempo in the first round like that, her second and third round really stood the course, and they were just about at the same level. Her second round probably took a little bit of a dip of her first round, but
Yeah.
still very good. And in her third round, she closed it out really well.
Mm,
Myverse second round from her first round, it's like night and day, Vlad. It's like two different battle rappers. Literally. Her second round has jokes, has angle punches, it has her multi-syllabic, like nice little internal rhyming, has
yeah.
like direct, like she's like cursing at her, talking about her vagina and all this good
Oh,
stuff.
whoa,
Like
whoa.
she did a lot, and she sprinkled the variety of all of it going on. Like it was jokes here, this, that, angle punch, and then go back to a joke, and this and that. Like the formula that she wrote within her second round, I want her just to at least like just this. Hopefully, she can realize whatever I did in my second round and my first round were not the same, because she
Mm,
feels like her first round was like my first round was good. My first round was good, and it's funny. Me, Luke Castro, No Bars, we're on the side with my verse, and we're talking
Lou
to her about
Castro actually stood next to you, brother.
oh, we cool, man. We cool.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, dude.
we
Yeah,
cool people,
okay,
man.
all right, okay. Well, shout out to Lou Castro, man, for being
Yeah,
a big
nah.
man. You know what I mean?
Luke Castro's my guy. Luke Castro's my
All
guy.
right, Bronx love.
We'll,
Okay.
we'll have some wings again soon, and
Oh
then
no, no, no! Last time y'all had wings in the drink, man, it got crazy after that, bro.
yeah. Shout out to Lou.
Lou, do
So
not have drinks and wings with friends.
yeah,
Avoid it at all costs.
I promise I'll write something good next time we go out to eat. But
All right.
we're my verse, and we're talking to her about her first round, and Lou's really like giving her some real like good advice about like the way she should like take this battle on the chin and what to look forward to, and take what you learn and the good parts about it and build upon it. And he's like talking to her about delivery and timing and how to break things up, especially if you're going to be really lyrical, so that
Mhm.
it could process better with the crowd. And she's like, and then I told her, I was like, I just feel like there wasn't any punchlines in the first like 90 seconds of your round. She's like, there was punchlines. And then Cash was like, let's hear it. Say some of your first round. And she's like rapping a stanza of her first round. And then me and Castro said at the exact same time, there's no punch.
Right,
So
right,
like we're
right.
like telling her like there's what you may think is a punch, it wasn't there. It's not a punch. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And you on a stage, on a URL stage, especially against an elite competitor like Miss Hustle or anybody that's going to be as rampant as she is, you can't go that long without not punching. I think you know what I'm saying. But
Right.
I mean,
All
at
in
the end of
all,
the day, she's the MC. I'm not telling her what to do, what not to do. I'm just saying you found something that did work, so study what did work more than what didn't work.
There you go, man. Like you gotta adjust to every stage. You gotta adjust to every stage, know where you're at, and know what the people want. And sometimes you gotta give them the medicine and the candy. So sometimes you gotta give them a little bit of what they want and some more of what you want to give them, and make it work for both people. Because ultimately, it's a audience and performer collaboration in a weird way. It's like we're there to receive your energy and you're there to receive our energy. So we both have to do our parts. Give us a little bit of what we want. We gonna give you what you want. So, but all in
Yeah.
all, it sounds like a learning experience for her, and it sounds like another day in the office for Miss Hustle.
Yeah, Myverse showed a lot of resilience, which I respect the hell out of, and
Hmm.
I think she's gonna start being recognized for her second rounds, which is a good thing. Um, and I will say though, she did say in her post game interview, the same one you mentioned with Uncle Rod, that she's like the fans have changed so much from 2016 to now, and while there is a younger demographic of fans, like it ain't changed that much, Vlad. Like it's all this,
I'm
it's
saying,
all this. It's
man.
all. It's all the
All
same,
the same,
folks.
bro.
Like, come on. 6 years ago, it was Uncle Ra outside. 6 years later, it's still Uncle Ra outside. Like,
Right, right.
it hasn't changed as much as that you're just now getting active, and this is the growing pains that people wanted you to go through from being active, and she's going through it, so
It's a
she'll be
little
fine.
different being on the sidelines. Yeah.
She'll be fine. Um, can we talk about Mackk Myron and Fonz?
Let's do it, player. Let's do it, man. The
Be,
battle
be,
of the punch lords.
because me, Titus, we're talking about an interesting stat, and all the people that have signed a 2 year. I don't know if Myver signed a 2 year deal, but I'm sure she signed a deal because she's battling frequently now on URL.
Yeah.
We'll probably see her more often. It seems like everybody that signed a deal so far that's come from King of the Dot hasn't won their first battle yet. Saint to Chess,
Mm.
Bill to Rum, Mac to Fonz, in my opinion. Myverse lost on the app to Flames, and will probably lose on the app to Hustle as well. So it's like 0-5 from all the King of the Dot signs to URL. Yikes.
Oh, a little different, man. But wait a minute, though.
I
I
mean,
mean, Bill, you can't really put Bill in there. Bill's
hey,
been on URL for the longest. I
yeah,
mean, come on, man. This guy's like an original PG. Don't try to throw Bill in there. What are you doing, dog? He battle
try,
rough,
try,
did he? Come on,
yeah,
man.
trying to add Bill
See,
to the
look at you
sample
trying to pad
size.
your own stats over here, man.
I said,
How can
I
I make
said,
this stat
I said,
fatter?
I said, since everybody signed, that's all I'm saying. Since
Oh
everybody
yeah,
signed,
yeah. I hear you. I hear
I
you.
said it correctly. I said
Hey,
it
two
correctly,
things can be
but
true at the same time. You know what
no,
I'm
but you're
saying?
right. Bill probably doesn't classify for that. But the point is, everybody else so far, I feel like has had some adjusting so far on the URL stage, and Mackk Myron, not far from the tree with everybody else. His first round against Fonz, he comes out the gate instantly into a 4 bar chain punch, like just literally like ramps up into a flow. That's how he starts his round, and I feel like a lot of the timing of his delivery and his flow didn't render with the crowd. Like he had some punchlines that were dope. He definitely had a few haymakers, not a lot
Mhm.
in this first round, but I'm listening to the way his pacing is, and there was something there that was just like, if you're a Mackk Myron fan, you know this is who he is. But again, if you're also a Mackk Myron fan, you know he hasn't rapped in an environment like this since Band Legacy 3 against Rada. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And even that battle, I felt like he didn't necessarily connect with the crowd to his full potential. At least back then, you could say he didn't have the experience yet, because obviously from that point on, he battled names like Danny, A Ward, Big K, Show Off, Bill. The list goes on, right? Now that he has all that experience and he's battled a lot of top competitors, I would think that he takes all of that and says, "Okay, I remember the Ryder battle. I needed to make some adjustments. I've gotten way better. I've battled much tougher competition. I've sharpened my sword." But it felt like he just didn't connect. And Fonz, everything that Mac left off the table, Fonz picked up from him. You know what I'm saying? Like he was able to say, "All right, this is the pacing and tempo that they want, that they can follow." And it was just like he was connecting on every punch he was throwing.
Wow. Okay. So different environment for Mac. Talk to me. How many people would you say approximately was in the building? Because we've seen Mac a lot in the RBE rooms, and those rooms are more closed off, more rapper friendly, I would say, with a sprinkling of general audience in there. Like, what talk to me about the capacity of the building, crowd in the building, all that. Like, what would you say would have made that environment so different compared to the other environments that he was rapping at? And so talk to me about that.
The capacity at this venue holds 350.
Okay.
And I don't think that there was a full 350 in there. Honestly, I think
Hmm.
for day one, the first couple battles was probably a solid like let's say 150 people, maybe 200. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And but like you said, like all of his battles previously are in rapper friendly rooms. Like his battle with Nex on the Riot, there wasn't more than probably 100 people in that room. His battle with Enes on RBE, there probably wasn't more than 70 people in that room. All those King of the Dot battles on season one, there probably was less than 50 people in the room. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he's battling in a room that's probably three times the size that he's been battling in over the last 2 years. And that simple adjustment right there, like it really is delivering a speech for 50 people and 200 people. Although the gap between that is not massive, it's a different speech you have to deliver at that point.
Now, let me ask you, being
Yeah.
that it's actually on an elevated stage, people don't realize like it's a big difference between rapping on the floor, being able to look people eye to eye, and just kind of delivering your bars, as opposed to where you're on a stage and the people are below you. Like, you now have to go into almost performer mode and put on more of a performance. Do you think, in your opinion, that might have had anything to do with just the pacing being off a little bit, just the timing being off somewhat with that? Like, do you think the stage makes a difference to not just Mackk Myron, but to rappers in general that are just used to rapping on a pit form on the floor with everyone? Do you think the stage actually makes a difference when it comes to rappers?
100%. I mean, even some like not to I don't know how much of accuracy I can use this as a comparison, but like I've seen like Queen of the Ring events where they some of the ladies showed up and the ring actually isn't there, and they thought the ring would be there, and they prepared as if they would be in the ring, and it's completely thrown them off because now they're
Yeah.
like in a stage as opposed to the ring where you had all that space to work with. And so I think a simple adjustment like that just changes the dynamic of how you project, deliver, and connect with the crowd, because now it's like look at me, engage me, and attack your opponent all at the same time. And make sure you look at this camera angle too, because this footage lives forever. And I just don't know if I'm not saying that he's not capable of like connecting on a crowd like this, but the same token, he's across the stage from a guy that's arguably one of the best 15 guys on the league. Like, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like Fonz is really fucking good. I remember in our pod I said I would expect Fonz to show levels because that's just the expectation I have of Fonz, and it's a compliment. And I had a talk with Fonz, and Fonz was like, "Hey, I heard what you guys said, and I take it with a grain of salt. And you're right. Like I've elevated. I really feel like I am one of these guys. I feel like he says I feel like I'm one of the 10 best guys in the league, not even 15. I was like,
Right. Okay.
listen, all
Okay.
right. Even
Talk
more of
that
a
talk, man. You should feel that way.
even more of a reason why you should show separation in a moment like this. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
last pod, I talked about how the differences in the punches, like between Fonz and Mackk, is just a different level of punching. It just seems like Fonz's level is just more sophisticated, and then when it hits, oh boy, it hits, man. Like, the setups are great. He takes his time, and it's some of the most cleverest stuff that you're gonna hear. Was that displayed in this battle? Did Fonz show that difference in the punches? And if so, what was your opinion? What was the difference in the punches?
His first round, he's just connecting on all the punches he was throwing, and even the ones that weren't connecting was smoothly delivered enough where it's like on camera they're gonna enjoy it because Fonz
Mhm.
always has nice little sophisticated sprinkled gems in there. Like he's kind of I don't want to say unorthodox, but it's like he's not your typical 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Fonz can punch in every kind of capacity possible. He can do a 4 ball buildup. He can angle punch. He can chain punch. He can punch in schemes. All right. He can just have a soliloquy that's building up to a punch. He can talk to you, and it doesn't even have to be a punch, but the talk almost sounds like a punch. Like that's what makes him so dynamic. That it's not just one version of it. Mackk though, it is kind of one speed. It's the I'm gonna be in a 4 bar buildup with a multi and a chain punch possibly, but there isn't that much range in the way that he can punch as the way that Fonz can. Fonz is throwing combinations, uppercuts, couple jabs, steps backs, and then it gets you with a nice little clean haymaker on the chin.
Mm.
Wow. While Mackk is just kind of like in the stance the entire time and is just swinging his 2 arms left and right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll say this though. Fon's second round was very much challenged because Mackk had a really good second round. Some people in the building actually even gave Mackk the second round. So it's not like Mackk walked just got 30 and he didn't just die. But I felt like everything that Mackk presented, Fonz found a way to like match because in Fonz's second round, he had this entire giant computer scheme that's all based on like computer
Mhm.
terminology, SD card, data processor, memory, you know what I'm saying, Geek Squad, all this stuff. And every time he kept saying all these terms, people are starting to catch on to this giant scheme he has. And the scheme's long. It's like it's going for over like 20 bars. And at some point, people are starting to register more and more and more with all this, and then he ends it with like a McAfee bar, like some wordplay on his name, McAfee, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And then he's like, "All right, now y'all see what I was doing? Let me run it back." And as he ran it back, people are now catching on, saying things with him, and that's a little, there's a little tricks you learn along the way on the URL stage.
All right. Great Fonz's stage performance for me because as time goes on and as the battles get bigger for Fonz, the punches are amazing. We do know that. But the performance and at times the cleanliness of, some of the battles, sometimes, you might get caught up here and there and it might be a snag in the delivery here and there. How
Yeah.
would you rate the delivery and the performance for Fonz? And then after that, we're going to get to your overall grade for Mackk Myron in his debut and what you feel like he might need to work on.
Yeah. Fonz definitely has those moments where, like, in his delivery, it sounds like you're anticipating for him to mess up, and it makes
Mhm.
you a little nervous, and it makes it a little difficult to say, "Oh, I'm all the way into it," because you're watching it with a little hesitation more than being entrenched into what he's doing. But I felt like he was good, man. I felt like he was good. Definitely were moments, like I said, that there were some punchlines that didn't land, but he stood the course, was confident. He looked really unbothered up there.
Okay.
He looked very unfazed by whatever Mackk was presenting to him. What am I doing to grade? 1 through 5, letter 1 through
Whatever you
10.
want. It's your world, Squirrel.
Fonz is definitely a top 3 or 4 performer of the night, so I'm giving him a B plus. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? And for Mackk, I would say
Think about it
C.
before you say it.
Yeah,
Think 3
yeah.
times.
I would C minus is too harsh. I would say C. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? I can't say he was bad. I could just say there's things to work on, and there is a lot of flexibility that you give yourself when you kind of switch things up a little bit, as far as
Mhm.
like your pacing, your tempo. Um, you Joking is part of his style. I'm not saying not to joke, but I feel like the timing of jokes is important because you use humor to diffuse things, break up the monotony, get the crowd back engaged, get the crowd like positively enamored. Like that is a like understand that the art of joking is a real strategic move that you can use as a battler. And while he's been good at it and it's worked in a lot of his other battles, I want him to realize that you be a little bit more calculated as to where you want to put these jokes. He did have a good angle. He had a good approach to the angle about the way Fonz like didn't show him any love as time progressed.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Fonz showed him a lot of love coming into his career, and then over time as he got bigger, he started to like secretly hate on him. And it was like
Oh,
a dope. It was a dope approach. But I think instead of building up an entire angle punching might be worth something looking at. Like build up a quick story to a punch so that you can keep on building into other stories, or you don't have to stay into that one story the entire time. Because if it doesn't work, then you're stuck there. That's why
right.
Fonz is such a good angle puncher because he's like, look, you got a lot of shit going on in your life. I ain't gonna just talk about one of them. I'm gonna talk about all of it. So
Oh my god. Oh man, yeah, I can't wait to see this battle, man. Because it's always one thing to hear about it and to get reviews about it. Then it's another thing to actually see it. And
Yeah,
after some time has passed.
I'll shoot Max some bail. Definitely feel like the crowd didn't give him any love at some point because at the end of his third round, he definitely was like, "Yeah, town, y'all some hoes." Like,
Hey man,
and
when in
and and
doubt, call the audience some hoes, man.
yeah, I definitely will say they definitely slept on him a few times. So he definitely had bars that were there. Like the bars are there. You know what I'm saying? It's just the packaging of the bars that matter a lot in
Right,
this moment, because now you're gonna be against high level competition. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
This ain't this ain't Cash Money, Dallas Cash, Loose Cipher, Big
Mm,
T. This ain't
mm.
that.
I hear you, play. I hear you. And this is just the first one. This is just the first one. But salute to Mackk Myron, though, nonetheless. You know what I mean? Your debut under your 2-year contract. They gave you one of the
Hey,
heavy hitters, one of the
and let
top
me
guys, Fonz.
and let me say before we
Okay.
leave, I have been very pro Mackk Myron. You know this, Vlad.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
the one advocating for him to be a top 20 guy last year. Obviously,
Absolutely.
I wrote the story about his deal. I tried to talk to him about it. I gave him a Q&A. He never responded. Mac, all right. Just want to
Help us help you. Help
help
us
us help.
help you, please. Let's
You know,
increase your capacity, please.
yeah, and obviously had a battle of the year contender with Bill that he could have easily won and probably went to the finals.
Yeah,
Fell short in the finals. I mean, honestly, from his bag and bodies, when you and I watched the show, and you and
yeah.
I've been saying it, like he came into the show as one of the favorites, and I'm not getting the energy like that. He's like the big dog in this room.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's getting outshined by Bad News, Snake, some of the other guys that, whose
I mean,
profiles weren't
J
quite as
two is
high
the
as
one.
his, you know what I mean?
J two is the one that eliminated him from the tournament
Yeah,
bags and bodies.
yeah, yeah.
So he's got stuff to work on, but I did propose a match to URL for him next, and they loved it.
Oh, all right.
Mac,
Well, you want to drop that or you want to holler at me
yeah,
behind the
yeah,
scenes?
no, let's campaign it. I mean,
All right, go ahead, player.
it's not gonna get booked. They just like the suggestion.
All right.
Mackk Myron and Jerry West.
That sounds like a good one. It's a creative battle.
It's a creative
That's
battle.
a
They
creative
both punch. They
battle.
both get out the creativity. They're both funny, and they both will put themselves to do something unorthodox. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So
Yeah. I like that battle. Let's see, man. Mac versus West. Set it up. Let's go.
yeah, we do still have 11 battles left. So let's see if we can
Whew, let's power punch through these.
yeah, let's ramp up a little bit, but I think those two are worth a nice little tangent for them. Next in New Jersey, hold up, shout out to Jade and Don Lady, because again, I didn't get a chance to watch their entire battle live, but wink, wink, salutes to the people, the good people at URL that's gonna
Mm,
bless me. You know what I'm saying,
mhm.
taking care of your boy, and they did very good, man. They did very, very good. It's a preference battle. A lot of people in the building like Jade's content a little bit more than Don. When I walked around and talked to a lot of people, but both of them were very happy with their performance, and they both feel like they did good enough that they can call anybody else out next. So salute to Jade. I think Jade is definitely, from what I've seen and from what I got a chance to hear afterwards, I would say she was the fifth best performer that night behind Fonz, Hustle, Av, and Twork, and there ain't no slight. So you're behind one of the female goats, one of the most electric guys, and two of the best punchers. As the
Salute to the
opener,
ladies. Salute to the ladies. They opened up the card, and as we know, man, that opening slot is can be a very tough one because you got to set the tone for the night, and you gotta start up that energy, man, and see what's going on. You know what I mean? So salute to the ladies for making it happen and for delivering on their performance and the chance that they were given. So props to them. Can't wait to see that battle.
yeah, just wanted to make sure we give them some love. And next in Twork was next on the stage,
No pun
and
intended.
yeah, no pun intended. And let me just say, man, it was giving me a little bit of the vibes of the real sick battle. Next one, the coin toss, and say you go
Mm,
first. And it's like,
mhm.
oh man, this guy gonna set the bar very high for you. And Twerk rapping a 6-7 minute round just feels unfair. Feels like watching Victor Wembanyama almost. Where it's like, all right, this don't even feel fair. Like, but I do want to also give a lot of props to Anwar. I said this on my show on Saturday. I told it to his face, but I want to say it again here. He wasn't on the stage with Twerk. He doesn't like to be on the stage, I guess, now, so they don't use bars against him. But on the side of the stage where he was, I look at Anwar and he's literally mouthing the entire round while Twerk is rapping. And they're like in synchronization. Like he's over here saying all the bars and Twerk's on the stage performing it. And at one point, I stopped watching Twerk and I started watching Anwar.
We need an Anwar cam now, man. That's hilarious. No, but hey, that just goes to show you that if he knows all the bars, the 6, 7 minute long rounds, that means that he's been hearing Twork kick them over and over and over again, to the point where it's instilled in his brain. So hey, goes to show you, man. Sometimes you got to switch things up and you got to change the practice routine and get some more discipline there and make things happen. Because all in all, man, Twork he's been on his game. Like there's nothing to complain about. He's got material. He's got extra material. He's got more material than he's contracted for. Just in case
Yeah,
Next had extra. Sometimes this is my shot. I'm gonna rap forever. You know what I mean? And he's like, well, if you gonna rap forever, I'm gonna be extra clipped up just in case you do, and I'm gonna drop a
yeah.
6, 7 minute round too.
and,
Like
and
you
he
ain't
and
gonna
he
out rap me.
and he still had more from all the material he gave us. Like after like 4.5 minutes of each round, he goes, "I got more. Y'all want more?" And they're like, "Yeah!" And so then he raps another minute and a
That's
half,
wild, man.
and then he goes, "I still got more. Y'all want more?" He's like, "Yeah!" And it's like, yo, this is a focused Twork because I'm not saying that. I ain't saying he like Big K, like all right, 2.5 minutes, I'm out, peace, thanks for my money. But he definitely, he definitely had times where it's like I'm gonna rap to the limit, or I'm gonna
Right.
honor the time limit, the contract, or you're
Contracted
gonna you're gonna
obligation.
you're gonna get 4, maybe 5 minutes. He dropped a 6.5 in a 7 minute round.
Hey, man. The
I mean,
boy, man, he's focused, man. He's focused. And that shows
he
you that when you see that, to me, maybe I could be wrong, but it shows that there's a new found love, you know what I'm saying, for performance. Maybe also appreciating the gifts that you do have, appreciating, the people who've been supporting you for all this time and saying, you know what, I'm in a good space, I'm enjoying myself, and I'm enjoying the writing process so much that I'm writing more than I actually have to. So, the man's in a good space. The man is he's happy right now, and no, all that means is that for the people who've been supporting him all these years, and the fans of battle rap who love great bars and great performances, this is a good thing, because we need guys like Twork, the electric guys, to show up every single time, because it's a great representation of battle rap. Remember, Caffeine was launched on his back and Geechee Gotti's back. They were the main events, and everyone was like, oh my goodness, this is the battle for the new face of URL. Who's going to take this over for the next 2, 3, 4 years? And it got a little ugly up there. You know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't remember his bars and stuff. And if you're telling someone this is one of the guys, this is the guy that you need to look out for, and you watch a few battles and he's choking here, choking there, you're gonna be like, this is what battle rap is about. But when you got a guy with all world talent and he's putting it together and delivering battle after battle after battle, like what more is there to say except to give him his props? We're tough on him when he's not delivering. So we got to give him his props when he is delivering. And I know some people might say, well, that's your job to remember and deliver the bars. Well, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Like I don't think people realize how difficult it is. So the people who do deliver their bars, with no errors every single time, man, you definitely got to give them some more credit and stuff like that. Like, because that is not an easy thing to do when you're fighting a crowd and you're trying to remember and your opponent's bombing on you. Like, so I'm going to give him his props, man. As tough as we are, and we criticize him when he doesn't remember, as he is delivering now, have to give him his props and his flowers for coming through and really now saying, okay, you know what? I can take this culture on my back. I can take this further. I can transcend it. I can bring more eyes to the people. And on top of that, you only make things better for yourself when you drop a music project, when you want to do some acting, when you want to do this and do that, and people see that you're dope. Like it only helps you. So salute to Twork, man.
again, like I said at the beginning of the pod, and we're gonna say in the article when it drops real soon, he was the best performer of the night. Best performer of
All
the night.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Back to back where he's number one performer of the night. Man on the Mission did amazing. Uh
Quickly,
hot,
quickly, how would you rate next performance? What grade would you give him? What were his positives? What were his what can he work on better next time? And your thoughts.
I'm giving Twork an A+,
Mhm.
and I feel like a C plus is too low for what I want to give next, but a B- also feels too high because there's a lot still to work
Oh.
on. So he's like in between that, you know what I'm saying? Like I see
Mhm.
like C plus doesn't tell the story, but B- feels too also too good because this is the best next I've seen on URL,
Mm.
and so I need to take that with a grain of salt. Like, all right, if we're just removing Twork and just looking at your performances in the vacuum, you did your job. You leveled up. You tried to match energy. You didn't fall back. You didn't fall. You showed heart. Um, uh, you know what? I'm gonna give him a C plus, and this is the reason why. He's an amazing rebuttaler and an amazing mid round rebuttaler, and did not do any of those things in this battle. And when
Ah,
somebody is rapping 6.5 minute rounds, that is the time to rebuttal, sir. That is
mm.
literally the time to rebuttal. That's the difference between you being B minus and C plus. All right.
Okay. All right. A little something to take home in your knapsack, man.
Yeah, no, but his first round was good. Like out the gate, he instantly tried to match Twork's energy, kind of flipped a lot of his slogans. You know what I'm saying? And it was working, and the energy was just like the crowd was receptive to it. His round
Yeah.
wasn't as long. He did not have the capacity to compete in content. But he definitely
Oh my
showed
goodness.
an extreme amount of will, and I cannot wait to see next again because I know. I mean, you know, Twork is obviously when Twork is on, he's easily one of the best guys in the league, and he's an elite competitor when he's clicking, right? There's a lot of people that believe that like when he's on all cylinders, there's not many people that could beat Twork. And
Right.
then this is next first plate, his first main event on the league. Like I was not expecting him to beat Twork whatsoever. I just wanted to see if he would improve and if he wouldn't fold under the pressure that Twork would present to him, and he did both those things. So I'm happy with his performance.
Well, he passed his test.
Only reason he's not getting a B minus because he didn't rebuttal, and he's too good of a rebuttaler to not rebuttal in that moment.
Nice, nice. All right, man. Let's move on, player.
All right. Tru Foe and Av. Oh, in
It's a
my
battle
Joe
that we were waiting for.
in my Joe Budden voice, and I've been waiting, baby.
I wish I listened to the Joe Budden podcast so I can get that reference, but I don't. But those of you that do, I'm pretty sure that was very, very funny and entertaining. But
All right.
friends, I want to get to this battle, man. You know, we talked about it. You know, we labeled Tru Foe the street poet. We all know what Av has done consistently over the years. I need your takeaways from this battle, man. I need your critical breakdown for this battle.
Brief pause because as a Tru Foe supporter and fan, somebody that was really happy to see him level up last year, had an all URL round, arguably the most improved battle rapper, arguably the most LTBR most improved battle
Mm,
rapper.
mhm.
We did a survey. I mean, it's not our survey is not official. We're gonna mix it in with the, obviously J Black survey so we could present it right and all that. But in our
Right.
brief survey that we did on social media, he was the leading vote for most improved. So people are very happy with the glimpse of what his ceiling might look like. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It showed it could compete with top tiers, and this was a very difficult assignment. Kind of like next, I don't think a lot of people was expecting him to beat Av. They just wanted to see if he could show that content, stay consistent, and just give the best vigilant effort he could. And he messed up every round.
Oh, you know, it's funny that you say that. You know, like next, people didn't necessarily believe that he could beat Av, but I push back on that one a little bit. Like, I felt like there were folks out there who were like, "Hey, man, I think he can win." It's just a matter of, you know, is he going to be clean and put it all together and stuff
Uh,
like that? Because,
yeah,
you know, it could be a preference. You got a puncher and you got a street cat. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's like it could have went either way. Whereas with Next and Twerk, it's kind of like, all right, man, if one guy remembers all his raps, like we don't really think this other guy could win. I don't think it was so much like that with that battle.
Well, I'll say that only because they both were the biggest underdogs statistically from our Twitter polls.
Okay. Yeah.
So they were both I think True Foes like at like 18%, and then next was like even lower than that. Next was like at 8%. So between
Right.
those two guys, they were they were the two guys that was most counted out for the
Yeah.
weekend, and I felt like they both had a similar assignment, which was like I could possibly win, but I just have to show that I could consistently be at a high level or be the best version of me. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And I say this content wise, material, Tru Foe's leveled up for sure. He has the material to hang in there for sure with a lot of high level guys. You know what I'm saying? His second round, he was getting off in the second round. But like I mentioned, he messed up every round, and got into an altercation with a fan. He apologized afterwards,
I
but
heard,
you know,
yeah, I heard.
I read him the transcript of this altercation. He didn't because I guess he forgot.
If you guys want to hear it, you guys can go on the caffeine and listen to the Saturday
uh,
night show because
no,
you want to drop it because it's Monday. People listening to it in the office right now. You know
hey,
what I
hey,
mean?
I'll
Like,
say this.
do we
All right, if
really
you're,
want to? Do we really want
I,
to? Do that to Foe again? You know what I'm saying? So after
I,
he apologized, you know what I mean?
he told me put it in the article. I'll put it in the
All
article.
right, there you go. There you go.
So all right, if you want to read the transcript of the altercation between him and the fan, check out the article. Let's talk betterap.com. But he made a moment out of it though. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So he definitely made a moment out that little back and forth. But ultimately, you shouldn't get thrown off for that to even have happened. You know, Av even said it when he kind of talked about Tru Foe, and Av gave Tru Foe such like high praise, and I really really respected what Av had to say about his performance. Let me pull this up real quick, actually. Av says, I feel like I'm back. It feels good to be back. Foe had a really good second round. He was getting thrown off, and he still got to learn about stuff like that. I don't take nothing away from him, though. He's still a good and solid ninja, and I hope to see him elevate more. And he's definitely one of them ones.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
So, Tru Foe, I think he's thinking what I'm thinking and what the world is thinking. We want to see you win, bruh. Not win the battle. I mean, like just beat the stigma of your stumbling. Be consistent. Clearly, your pen has evolved. Your pen can now do good things that we're like, yo, he's gonna bring us good content. It's the execution, bro.
Yeah, man. It's a letdown because he had the time to write the bars. He knew what he was facing. He's saying all the right things. It's Av, man. I'm scared. I'm scared in my boots. I'm waking up at night. I'm getting to these bars. I'm reciting these bars over and over again. And I mean, he's performed on various stages and he's gotten off. He's done his thing, but the stigma has followed him around, whether it's just one round or all of the rounds, and you give an opportunity after opportunity. And I'm just critical on Tru Foe because like I'm genuinely like I rock with the dude. Like I really enjoy his content. I think he's a dope artist. I think he's a dope battle rapper. But it's like, this what is it? Like you have to figure out like why this continues to happen. I could get it if it's the tournament and you're doing every 2 weeks. Okay, maybe you're not a cat that does battles every 2 weeks. We get that, but this is a prime time opportunity, man, against like a main stage veteran. And, for it to happen in all 3 rounds is just like, why? So I know that the content is there, but I would really just love for him to step back, man, take a look at what was going on in my life around the time where I was able to get all 3 rounds out, where I showed up fully prepared and was able to display my full capacity. And what happens around a time where I'm choking or I'm not delivering the bars right? Like, what is happening? You got to take a step back and analyze what is going on, and say, okay, if this is what was going on, then let me try to replicate this. Let me try to be in that same headspace. Let me try to figure out what's going on and get it right because, bruh, we're critical cats, but we do it with respect. Everyone else ain't like that. The people, the general audience, they ain't like that. They just gonna be like, this guy's this guy's that. It don't matter. And then the bloggers with who are gonna like roast you are gonna let you know, like, yo, this dude is. You know what I'm saying? So get it together, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, get it together. We know you got the talent, but it is what it is. Like, we can't sugarcoat it. For it to happen all 3 rounds, man, it's a little disheartening. You know what I'm saying? But Av, man, talk about Av, the return everyone was looking forward to. You know what I'm saying? He's saying him and URL are, in a better place. So who knows? Maybe we can continue to see him back on the league some more. Maybe not. Who knows? But talk to me about Av's return. And even Av said that Av felt like he could feel the a little bit of the
Rust.
rust and some of the stuff that he could improve on and
He,
stuff like that. So
he
I want you to break down Av's performance for me
I
real
think the
quick.
rust. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's a little bit more harsh on himself than he needed to be because some of the, I guess, the rust he was talking about was probably maybe just the delivery on some things. He definitely
Mhm.
had. I wouldn't even say stumbles, but just like little verbal slippage on certain words,
Yeah.
and he would like say it back again and get back into it. So like it was real, but at the same time, I guess he hasn't battled in a long time. Let me see when was the last time Av has battled while we're talking about this. But bro, Av is a demon. All right. I've had this one bar that stood with me the entire night, the entire weekend. Um, and it was kind of like Tru Foe, you got shot and you weren't even looking for trouble. How you was out eating wings and almost earned you a couple.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Oh,
like I was
man.
like, oh good Lord have
Oh,
mercy, man. Like,
man.
what is this? Apparently I think Av's last battle was on against Murder on Seven City Sharks, and I think
Okay.
um it went down quite some time ago in August. So if he hasn't battled since August, I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's quite
Yeah.
some time to not battle.
It's almost
But
half a year. Yeah.
hmm but A- listen, man, Av is a very dangerous battler. I'm watching this as like this is why everybody ducks him. This is why. This is this is the reason why they don't want to smoke with him. But I want them to come outside for Av because he deserves it, bro. He's earned it. He's that good of a battler. He's elite. He's easily also, like I said, one of the I was saying the Fonz one of the best 15 guys. Av's one of the best 10 guys
Mm.
when active. You know, um, I left that night thinking we need Twork and Av to spin the block on that battle that they both have talked about. So
Yeah, man. Let's get that battle cracking, man. Let's campaign that. Twerk and Av, man. 2023. 2023, man. I think this is going to be the year where no more ducking. I don't think we're going to be seeing that. I think, with this whole outside thing, we've seen Tay Roc kind of take the lead and show that the head honchos in this thing can battle anybody and there's nothing to fear. It's not going to knock down your credits or your credentials. And, you can continue to do your thing. And this, I mean, how many matchups are left for a lot of these cats? You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's make it happen, man. And before we bounce up out of there, I know we were really critical of my man Tru Foe, but I tell you where he's not slipping up and where he is delivering properly is on his brand new album, Drill Music for the Soul, which is out now on all DSPs. So, go listen to that, check it out, support my man and Tru Foe. Got to get it together, brother. We just keeping it 100, man.
got to get it together mainly because I know a lot of people will be like, well, what about when X name chokes and this name chokes and gets all these chances? And it's like, well, look, if you just say what you want to say. Chess and Twork, right? Everybody ain't chess and Twork, bruh. All right, everybody ain't chess and Twork. They've showed high ceilings. They've rocked gnomes and summer madnesses. They've battled a lot of top competitors, and they're extremely polarizing and have garnered so much digital traffic from their audience and fan base that they don't even have to promo, and they're gonna always have a demand, or they're
And
always
they
gonna be
have
work.
cult followings. That's a major difference between those two and a lot of
Yeah,
others. Like
like
no matter what, they have a following that's always going to support them, whether they're choking in 37 battles straight or they've been perfect in 50 battles in a row. They're always going to have that support, and so that's the major difference between those two and others. I'm gonna call it down the center every single time. If you messing up, you messing up. Got to get it together, no matter who
yeah,
you are.
well, I say all that to say that everybody's lifespan isn't equal. So, like,
Facts.
I'm not, like, get it together because you showed what you're capable of this past year, and I think the whole world doesn't want to see you regress. And I say that as
There
a
you go. That's
genuine,
perfect. Perfect.
I say that as a
Perfect way to end
genuine
it.
supporter of Tru Foe. How many battles did we just go through? I guess we're left with Ace and Qleen.
Mm, let's
Ace
talk
and
about
Qleen.
this one, bro. Now,
I'll be
before
honest.
what? Go ahead, player.
I'll be honest, there's not much to say. Well, I mean, it's not that there's not much to say, but like I'm just a little upset because Ace was really good. Ace's style is real complex, where people like yourself are very harsh on his sometimes his stumbles or his verbal slippage or him being clean, but the way that he raps is so methodically like structured that any slight like
Don't do
miscal.
that, friends. Don't do that,
Wait,
friends.
no, listen. This is.
Don't do that,
Wait,
friends.
you can I get it off? Can I get it off?
Hey,
Is it,
yeah, hey, yeah. Go ahead. I heard you
it,
get it off on Saturday. Pause. You know what I'm
it,
saying?
but
I
but
heard. Hmm.
but listen, but I was at dinner with the good folks,
Yeah.
and we all kind of felt the same. We're just like, but listen, we were saying that not as an excuse. We're saying it as he needs to figure out how to structure his shit. Then you know what I'm saying? If that's the
Okay. All
case,
right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I'm glad that you put that caveat on it because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because a lot of times people go, oh man, his delivery is just he's saying so much and it's so complex and it's so well written and this and that, which is it is, but you still have to deliver it. You know what
No,
I'm
no.
saying?
Listen,
And no one is a machine, no one is
yeah,
human. I get it. People are gonna mess up, but this is a consistent thing. You know what I'm saying? It happens almost every battle. And it's like, okay, we're gonna let him be the only guy that like gets away with this. Like,
no,
we can't
no,
do that. Like, you're gonna have to get that thing together. There's no smoke. There was no smoking in the building, right?
no.
Right. So there's no smoke. There's no asthma to act up. There's no,
Yeah,
bronchial problems going on, and it's still happening. Like we can't give the man an out just because he raps really fast and his
yeah.
wordplay is
And
tricky.
and again, I preface that not as an excuse, but I was just like, I'm just breaking down the technicalities as to why I understand why it happens so much. But if it happens this much, that means that you need to build a game plan around it.
Yeah, yeah,
Whether it
absolutely.
whether it's you don't have an entire round at this pace, or you have certain moments at this pace, because the internal rhyming, like one is all clicking, it's hard to grasp, but a lot of content is being thrown your way and is really good. But more
Mhm.
importantly, he has really good stage IQ. Like his first round, he started off with a free the wave, and whenever Surf touches back down, the Midwest movement, like he had the whole like Midwest movement bar that Surf
Mhm.
had, and he used it and inserted clean and verb and Tru Foe and all these different names into it, and it was smart because the crowd ate it up, And in his first round, he did have some slippage, but there was moments after he stopped slipping that he wasn't rapping as fast, and all of his bars are connecting with the crowd. And I heard him, like, you can hear his mic is on. He goes, "This is easy." Meaning you understand the formula, you know what to do, you know how to get reaction, you know how to be calculate. Like he has all the components where it's just like, bruh, you just need to fix this complicated internal fast paced style that you have at times that is causing you to always stumble and slip, because it's always causing you to stumble and slip. you know
That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. And
yeah,
yeah, you're gonna have to figure it out, man, because you can't be the only guy that people are gonna be like, oh, that's just part of his style. He just doubles and slips, but the content is so great. How are we supposed to judge your battles? You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is happening all the time, like I can't give you a win. And on top of that, people wanna see clean battles. Like I said, no one is human. I don't expect anyone besides Murder Mook. Well, actually, Murder Mook did kind of have some slip ups and stoppages versus Jay Mills. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that Jay Mills battle, friends, I have never seen Murder Mook stumble upon a word in a battle. Okay, he has the capacity to rhyme perfectly every time. You don't mess up.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
and we seen what he did versus Tay Roc. We seen what Daylight did versus Tay Roc with that complex rhyme style. And there are people who can do it. And this is almost every battle. If
yeah.
we were to go and check out Ace's battles and see how many of them were ran through perfectly, you know what I'm saying? Oh, there's gonna be a lot of them. You know what I mean?
Look,
But
listen.
we know he's an amazing writer. You know what I'm
I
saying?
I agree with all your sentiments. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm not giving it a pass. I just can understand why it's happening. But all I'm saying is something needs adjustments to be made, and I don't necessarily know what he changes to prevent it from happening.
Right, because the complex stuff, people love it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? And we just want to see it ran through cleanly. You know what I mean? So it's like if you take that away from him, it's like taking away one of his special powers.
Yeah,
So how do we get to that point where the special power is always special?
yeah,
That's what we got to get to, Ace. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, man. I'm a tough critic when it comes to people who have great talent and great skills. If you were some bum, some trash ass dude, and this was happening, I wouldn't even care because I wouldn't even want to watch your battles. You know what I'm saying? But you're dope. So I do want to watch your battles, but I watch them with anxiety sometimes. And I'm like, oh man, pass me some Xanax or
Yeah,
something so I can get through this
yeah,
joint.
yeah. I do think he's one of the guys that everybody wants to see have a consistent run of clean performances and good performances. But even at the end of the day, like I'll be honest, like his glitches were minor, but they were glitches.
Okay. Okay.
It was very forgivable if the battle had finished thoroughly, because ultimately
Mm,
I'm not so concerned with the minor glitches from the first round. I'm much more concerned with the kind of scuffle that Qleen's man and he had, and then like Tru Foe getting into it and Twork getting into it, and everybody getting into it on the stage. It fucked the battle up. It just straight up just messed the battle up. The vibe was gone. Qleen didn't even want to rap a second and third
yeah,
round.
I
I'm
saw
out of
that.
there.
Yeah.
Boom. Ace obviously was like he wasn't ready. Bro, he wasn't probably ready. He didn't have nothing. And it's like, all right, say what you want. My whole thing is I just want to see you have good battles. You're due for a run. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
due for a run. And it was a little disappointing for me because from the first round and your second round, from what you were giving us so far, you were on your way to giving us a good 3-round battle.
Right, right. Yeah, man. And this was a part of a theme of the weekend where entourages and people in the audience just messing up the groove, man, messing up the vibe, messing up the battles, and just not playing their role and playing their position and not understanding that this is entertainment. This is about the rappers delivering content for the audience, and it's not about the entourages, stepping in and messing things up. And even in the post games, it's like you got the entourages want to, they're all up in the interviews now and stuff like that, and they're delivering their side and stuff, and I'm like, this is territory that we don't need to be venturing into, because this is about the rappers rapping. And when if your entourage doesn't understand what's going on or what kind of environment they're in, or just understanding, hey man, my role is just to be here and just to, chill, hold my man down, give some reactions and stuff like that, then you don't need to be on that stage. You just be by the bar, have a drink in your hand and say, all right, man, if things get out of control in here, I'm here for support from back here from the bar, but I don't need to be on the stage and potentially ruining a battle. Like it happened twice. It happened with Tay Roc and Stumbles, which we'll get into in a little bit, and also happened during the Tru Foe battle with someone in the audience just going back and forth with him. And it's like, we don't need this. You know what I mean? I mean, it happened last time with Nunu Nails, you know what I'm saying? And she's with URL. So it's like, it's not even just, people who are not within the culture. It's people within the culture too. It's like, let folks rap, let them get their bars off, and let's keep it moving, man. Keep it pushing.
Yeah, ultimately, I just wish their battle finished the way they were supposed to, because obviously, it was an interesting style clash. I do feel like
Yeah.
I wonder if Qleen's overworked. This is his third battle back already in the new deal, and he's got Swamp.
Yeah,
About
on the
what?
18th, February
Yeah,
18th, right?
yeah. So, he's got a battle to, I guess, focus on. So he'll be fine there.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Because he did say, that with Uncle Rob once again, hat tip, that yeah, after that happened, he was just kind of like, like I'm thrown off. I've never been in this position before. I don't want to rap. And we have seen him give good, clean, no pun intended, performances since he's been back. So I can chalk this one up to the fracas that went on and just him being thrown off. Okay, cool. But the next one, I want to see Qleen be himself. I want to see him be upbeat, entertaining, and do what he does, man, and deliver that product. So we'll see what's up
Yeah.
with the next one. I can chalk this one up because he's been on point, but let's see what the next one.
Yeah, I will say this: Ace obviously is the pause police, and Qleen had a ton of pause worthy stuff in his first round. He had one real pause worthy bar, and then the rest of them just kind of sounded pause worthy, but
Yeah.
it just kept inclining. And at that point, the crowd kept pausing him as opposed to Ace. So then Clean's like, "This is crazy. What the hell?"
Yeah,
Like the
it
crowd would
was
just not let
wild,
him get
man.
it off. So it was on its way to being a fun battle, but
Yeah. It
it's good
is
to
what
both
it
of them
is,
though.
man.
Yeah,
Player,
so
let's move on to day two, man. You texted me, yo, Swervo MVP of day two, hands down, like the best performance, might have been next to Twork, the best performance of the weekend. And I'm like, whoa, Kimosabi, what's going on here? Like, there's a lot of names on this day two card.
Yeah.
Swervo's the MVP of the card. Like, I was, everyone has the capacity to be great. I get that, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't expecting that per se. So, it's a lot of times we start off with the negative. This day two, I want to start off with the positive. Let's talk about your MVP of day two, Swervo.
Yeah, you know what? Let's start off with Swervo. I was really excited to talk about this. Me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I think he was the performer of the weekend. But if we're gonna go by skill technicality, he wasn't better than Twork. But I feel like there is a bit of an expectation where it's like Twork, what he's capable of, and he handled business. And Swervo showed you a level that you've never seen before from him. So there is a shock. Look, listen, shock value is a real thing. It's okay. Like, we can admit it, right? You know what I'm saying? I was a little, I was shocked. So if I walked away that weekend a little bit more enamored by this performance, where he was an underdog to a respectable vet that was very good. So if Swervo was not at this level, he would have walked away with a debatable or a loss, because Cortez, he came with it. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to preface that, because everyone's like, was he better than Twork? And it's like, all right, if he's second to Twork, like, all right, it's big fucking whoop, guys. Like, come on. MVP of day one, MVP of day two. These two guys, period. Swervo's performance, man. You know me, Vlad. I've been a big Swervo fan. When UM4 came around, I was like, he's one of my favorite guys on this roster. When we did the UM4 guide, I did a lot of studying, and my favorite thing about him always was he had pristine sense of timing and he's explosive. Those two things alone works on URL. You know what I'm saying? If you know how to break things up, deliver it, and know when to pack the heavy content, it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna work because you built momentum for yourself, and then it helps you throughout the rest of your round. Always. With him, though, we hadn't really seen much, because obviously lost to Brandon, one off with Stumbles, that battle Rubando. Then he had the light work with Rock, and light works you got to take with a caveat, because he did show some really interesting flashes, but it's an empty room. It's not a stage. So we just didn't know what he could be yet. And we wanted to see what he could have become, but we hadn't seen anything to prove that he could do this. So I was like, all right, I need to see it to believe it first. And I believe because because bruh, his first round, powerful. It's like an avalanche. His second round, just as good. His third round, very tailored. Like, he had a moment where he's like Cortez, you are a legend. In fact, it's just when we compare you to your peers, like that's what we belittle you at. And like, he kind of started taking everybody's slogan and mixed it all up, and then painted it all the way back to like. But when we talk about Cortez, there ain't shit to speak about. Like, it was all very well tailored, executed, explosive. He did fuck up in one aspect though.
Okay, what was that?
And at the end of his third round, like, obviously he's going. He is landing bombs. He had this crazy. I saw this battle got booked in VA, so I thought I had to murder Av. Like, he had a whole bunch of crazy haymakers going, and he went back to like repeat it so the crowd could say it with him. And he got to a point, he's like, "Fuck! All right, time."
Oh, okay.
So it's like, that's the only little like smidget. Like, I could give you an A plus, but I'm giving you an A minus for it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, okay. You gotta finish your food, player.
Yeah, just don't do the fuck. Like, obviously at that point, by that point, like, it was amazing.
Just
like,
let
you
us
know what I'm
all know.
saying? But don't do that. Don't do that, because you don't know what Cortez is capable of to match it, and then the people will be like, "Oh, well, he was going," but somebody will say that.
Right. You gotta
So
give Tez that round.
Don't sell the clip. When basketball players like have a highlight and they try to get the nice little pass the ball and they don't score it. You sold the clip. Don't sell the clip, bruh. But it was. I had an outer body experience at one point, Vlad. Like, I
what? What are you talking about?
I was like shouting and like cheering, and then like I was dazed out, and I had like forgot where I was for like 90 seconds, bro. Like, for real. bro.
I
I
think you've
was just
been,
like,
I think you've been hitting that vape pen a little too hard.
I didn't hit
Bro.
anything. I didn't hit anything. I was sober all week. I was sober up for the battles. I was sober all day.
Oh my
I
god,
was like my eyes was like lit up like a fucking lantern, and I was
bruh.
like
Yeah, yo, man, you're selling the hell out of this performance, man. Oh my gosh, like this sounds crazy, man. This sounds crazy. But you
yeah.
weren't the only person. I looked on the timeline. I've been doing a little Twitter fast, man. I've been off of Twitter, but I was like, yeah, let me go on the side, the following side, not the for you side. If you stay on that for you side, it's gonna be nothing but nonsense. So I was like, let me see what's up. Let me see what the battle rap world who's there is saying. The people who are actually there, not the people who are pretending to be there. You know what
Mm.
I mean? Let me see what they got to say. And yo, it was pretty consistent. Everyone was saying he was losing his mind. So I got to see this, man. How was Tez, real quick?
Tez was really good, man. Tez obviously came to play. Tez takes the responsibility and role of a gatekeeper very serious. He
Mhm.
did not fold. He stood poised despite the avalanche that Swervo presented. Um, it's just at one point, Cortez started his round saying, "You try, boy, you trying
Yeah, I
very
heard.
hard tonight, boy.
Boy. Yeah, I heard that joke.
Boy, you trying very hard tonight, boy." And that's a testament to respect of who Cortez is as well, because Swervo said, "Listen, um, I've been in a little bit of this purgatory since UM4. Like I didn't capitalize. People think I have this potential. I'm not necessarily showing it. I'm improving in little areas, but not enough to massively progress. Now that I got this shot, I need to take it in close range. And if he did anything less than that, we're not talking about him at this capacity. You know what I'm saying?"
Facts. Yeah, and one thing that he did say was that he used to say, I'm happy to be here. Now he's like, I'm no longer happy to be here. I want to claim my spot. I want to be on different cards. I want to be mentioned with everybody else who's climbing the ranks. I'm not just happy to be here. And that is the approach you have to take. That's the attitude you have to have, because that I'm happy to be here attitude is only going to get you on cards when it's close to your hometown and stuff like that. And it's convenient for the league, and, it's convenient for their pockets. So, you got to break out of that. And I'm glad that he saw that. And I'm glad that he was able to do that, man. And I also want to shout out Kels and the whole KMM mob and stuff, because
Yeah.
she's cultivated a little, not a little, let me take that out. She's cultivated a scene down there where artists can really go, you know, perform and display their talents and take themselves up to the next level. You know what I mean? Which is not easy to do. So I want to salute that black woman for setting up that environment and for setting up a place where people can go and leave, things behind it. And who knows, man, if one of these guys becomes, a big star and stuff like that, she had a direct hand in changing someone's lives, and that's not an easy thing to do. So I do want to salute her, because a lot of the talent that she's put her hands on, no freaky, you know what I'm saying? Like they're taking advantage of it, and they're moving up the ladders, whether it's little by little or making, big strides and stuff. So salute to her and what they have going on down there with OSBL.
Listen, the mob is doing beautiful things. Shouts to Kels. Can't give her enough praise. Successful league owner, successful manager, successful Crucible scout. Um, there's a plethora of good things I could say to Kels, and I caught a nice little clip of all of them embracing her. I needed to
Yeah.
capture it and post it because it was a dope scene to see, and everybody in the culture just connected that comes outside and doesn't pretend to be outside loves Kels. All right,
Facts.
But
All right, man.
Back to Swerve. I'll say this much. Actually, to Cortez, his third round. I want to talk about his third round. Beautiful, beautiful third round because he opened it up with like dedicating it to his mother having cancer and his mother beating cancer. And he's like, my mother
Salute.
3-0'd cancer. I don't care. She's my champion of the year, and like that. That shit just like gave chills. You know what I'm saying? Like
All
that
right,
shit was,
man. Salute to Mama Tez.
yeah. Salute to Mama Tez and salute to all that because man, like Cortez was really good though, man. Like if Swervo did not have a breakout performance, we're talking about this battle very differently, you know.
Facts, man. And with
And
that
this is
being
his
said, friends. Oh, with that being said, I want to
Yeah,
salute my godmother who's actually having her breast cancer surgery today. So, if you
yeah,
guys are listening out there, I just want y'all to send some positive energy, some, the healing energy to my godmother, what I mean, special lady in my life. And, she's fighting that cancer, and that cancer thing is very serious, to a lot of us, to a lot of women, not just black women, but just women all over the world and stuff. So if y'all listening to this, y'all rock with y'all boy. Send some healing energy to my godmother. She's going into her surgery today, man. I would greatly appreciate that, y'all.
yeah. Positive prayers and wishes to your family as well, Vlad. You know, what I'm saying thank you
Thank
for
you, brother.
sharing that.
Thank you, man.
You know, and I'm sure Cortez would say the same to you, man, because he pretty
Absolutely,
much
yeah.
he expressed the struggle that he was going through while it was all happening, while she was trying to beat cancer. And
Yeah.
man, it's just one thing Cortez can do is he could paint the vivid picture of his hunger, pain, and finding a way to mask it, like smile into the camera, but like I'm really going through it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And that talk is just it's dope, man. It's honestly really, really dope. And I love the battle. I love the battle on both ends. Obviously, the crowd giving you a good old 3-0, this and that, blah blah blah. But it's bigger than all that. It's you had a vet, a respectable vet that honors the gatekeeping role. This is Cortez's 100th career battle. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So this is somebody that has been put in pain for close to 2 decades into this world. It was on URL's first ever card, like, and he's still here, spinning the block and giving people like Swervoo an opportunity to progress in their career. And Swervoo greatly thanks Cortez, and he shouted him out in every single interview. He did not shit on him. He did not talk no trash, nothing that. He was like, Cortez didn't have to do this. He did this, and I'm very grateful that he did. And
Uh,
while he's humble there, he's ready to talk his shit elsewhere.
Okay. Hey, the only thing I do want to say, man, from that one clip when he's like, Cortez, how do you say what in Spanish? And he go, this a K. No, 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 my friend. It's dice que. All right. He's like, this a K. I don't know what kind of Merlin Espanol you've been learning, brother. But the accent was a little off, man. So, but I do appreciate the effort in trying to get the Spanish bar down, but a little off though, but fire nonetheless though.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad we started with him because he deserved it. And but the first battle of the night was actually Anderson and Snake Eyes.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Anderson's first round, very witty, a lot of good jokes, a couple good abstract punchlines, a couple gun bars, and it looked a little cringe to see him throw the gun bars
Mm,
out there a little bit.
mm-hmm,
But he was connecting with a lot of his material, and it was working. It was good. I was like, okay, this is the battle that we probably were anticipating so far from his first round. And then Snake's first round goes, and Snake is on one, man. You know what I'm saying? Snake is probably coming off
yeah,
the best years this far of his career, arguably.
mm-hmm,
And he's just decided to just say, hey, listen, I'm supposed to show levels here because I've been in more high pressure situations than you have, more skill. I rap better. I'm gonna do that. And had great haymakers, good punchlines. He had a Luka Doncic bar. He was like, I got a 60 double down like Luka Doncic. And I was like, all right, the round is over. The round is over.
for those of you that don't know, France is a Luka Doncic stan. All right, so much so that he's evaded his Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James post, and he is now all in with Luka Doncic. So that bar winning, Snake Eyes that round, what I mean? Just understand, like, I'm not even letting you guys know how much of a Stan Francis. I'm being very kind right now because if you saw our text threads, you would know, the levels of Stanislav that France is, but that's still a fire bar though, nonetheless. But you know what I mean? But
It's
mhm,
more than a
still a
fire bar. It's
fire
an
bar.
amazing bar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Relax, partner. Relax. Relax. I'm being kind, all right. You know how we rock on the text when it comes to Luca. I'm not bringing that to the people right now. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
hey,
But
hey! All I'm saying is
relax, partner.
when you see a caffeine stream of me in Dallas, just mind your business. All right.
Well, No, man, but continue though, man. Continue how
No,
the
but
rest of the battle go.
ultimately he took a real progressive leap to the battle there. Like I feel like he had a comfortable lead in the first round, and then Anderson's material from there on, like for me personally, it felt downhill. Like
Mm,
um his second round wasn't as effective as his first, and his third round had a lot of interesting angles where he was like, you call me the cameraman of Midnight Madness. I'm the director of the league that got you lit." And he pretty much broke down how like I'm the reason why, not I'm the reason why, but I made you look good in all situations that made you look as good as you did, and obviously that you keep battling people that beat you up, and blah blah blah
oh,
blah blah. And it was good. His third round was definitely better than his second, but I thought they were both as wasn't as good as his first. And I personally had Snake Eyes with a comfortable 2-0 lead, and Snake Eyes third round was probably his my least favorite round of his. He had like this Annabelle bar that was like a crazy like reach. I don't think people liked
okay.
it. The whole crowd was like, "What?" They ain't like that bar from him. So I feel like the third round was the most competitive in my opinion. But interestingly enough, I walked around the room and people felt like Anderson won the battle. Like I thought Anderson won second and third, and I'm like, what? Really? And
Okay.
interestingly enough, a lot of people in the room felt differently about it. I posted clips of both of them online. It was real interesting. People either hated the Anderson clip or loved it. There was no in between. So
Right.
I guess if you appreciate all of the attributes that he brings and can look past his cadence and his style of rap, then you might favor it more. You might preference it more. But I want to give Snake Eyes a lot of props because like he got out of his element and did the funny stuff, lad, and it worked.
Okay. All right.
He had a
All right.
bar. He was like, I forgot how the setup of the bar was, but he was pretty much saying like what he listened, like what Anderson would be like listening to in his car, like music wise.
Mhm.
He was like, I run up to your car, you roll on the window, and I hear, "Hey now, you're an all star." And then like the crowd started laughing, and it worked. Like so, he got out of his comfort zone, stepped out the box. It worked for him. So salute to Snake Eyes for doing that. That's dope as fuck. And Anderson obviously was his first round was funny as fuck. A lot of good punchlines in it. I'm actually mad that he didn't win that round because it's like I thought it was his best round. So I had
I,
Snake
s-
Eyes two. I had Snake Eyes
I
2-0, arguably 3-0.
I saw that Anderson said, he thought about he knew that Snake Eyes was gonna do the the February month bar thing
Yeah,
again, Black
yeah,
History Month. And he thought about, doing some counter writing and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But then he was like, I don't know, man, if I should be tiptoeing down this line of Black History Month and incorporating jokes and stuff like that into it. And I just want to say, Anderson, man, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you for not taking the low hanging fruit because it's dangerous territories, you know what I'm saying? And you don't necessarily want to be known for that unless you do want to be known for that, you know what I mean? But you decided otherwise, and I think good move, you know what I'm saying? We know that you're funny for sure. Continue to use that, continue to use your humor, and continue to develop the other aspects of your writing and stuff. Like, he said he thought he could have did some more counter writing, not just that, but just on snake life snake life, but just snake eyes in general. So okay, yeah, next go round, maybe do that, do some more counter writing, and do some more of that stuff. But don't leave out the funny for sure, but definitely make sure where you at, and if these
yeah.
jokes are gonna hit or not, or if you're gonna stand on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't drop the jokes and then apologize afterwards. If you're gonna drop them and stand on them. So I'm glad that you decided, hey, either I'm all in or I'm just gonna leave it alone, which is smart. It shows IQ also, so salute to that.
I think overall I was a little disappointed in Anderson's performance because I mean I didn't project him to beat Snake just because Snake's been in more high pressure situations, but I would have liked to have seen him continue to incline round by round instead of like peaked out so early for me. And his delivery and his style is either you respect all the attributes around
Yeah.
it and the wittiness of it, or you just can't get past the way that it sounds and you don't like it.
But you
I
know what?
think,
We gonna have to wait and see because it seems like the people in the audience had a certain feel towards it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you had a different feel towards it. So
I
we
want to,
got
I
to
want
see
to,
what this one. Now you got me intrigued, man. Now I want to see what actually happened and transpired through this battle.
I want to say respectfully to those people that felt Anderson won. I can't see it, or maybe I can see it with my Stevie Wonder glasses on. I don't know, but I respect the opinion.
Yeah, we'll see, man. All right, moving on to the next battle, player.
All right. After that, we had the 2-on-2.
Mm-hmm.
And Chef Trez and Nunna was solid. You know what I'm saying? They had a solid first round. It was cool. So Flair and Foots came out with the cameo. You know what I'm saying?
You mean the camouflage? You mean?
Yeah.
He said
So,
the cameo.
oh, I'm sorry. Camouflage.
I was like, they had the cameo hair. They came out with flat tops.
I'm sorry. They came out with the camouflage. Thank you. Thank you.
Strawberry, raspberry. I was like,
Hey, listen, I'm
what are
multitasking.
you talking about?
I'm time stamping while talking. I'm sorry. I'm
Yo,
sorry. I'm
man's been
sorry.
hitting that vape pen so
I have
hard in
I,
that hotel room all week.
I
He
only hit the pen
visualizing
Saturday
flat
night.
top.
I did not hit the pen since then. So
All right, okay. So I'm like, man, they came out with these cameos, man, and oh man,
camouflage, matching
it's a
camouflage.
candy. Oh,
Their
go
first round was
ahead, man.
good. Their first round was
Mhm.
good. Real explosive. But I'll be honest, I didn't feel like Flair and Foots like slam dunked on Trez and Nunn, but they did enough every single round to just like we did a little bit more. You know what I mean? I don't think the battle was debatable personally,
Mm.
but I just felt like I didn't see somebody get dominated in that battle, but I saw somebody did enough to take every single round. But second round, Nunn had a lot of rebuttals. Trez threw a few in there, some landed, some didn't. Third round, Nunn had a rebuttal that first kind of got booed, and then he fought back and like had some more content that kind of like won the crowd back over. But the third round, so Flair and Foots probably had the best third round of the battle because they put the real like nail in the coffin and had everybody like going crazy. Towards the end of the battle, I went to the back to go get like some water, and I took some notes on it afterwards. And ultimately, it was a solid battle. You know what I'm saying? Solid 2-on-2 battle.
Did we get a combo rebuttal? Like did one start and the other finish?
It was more like you go score, I go score.
All right, all right. Now, from the clips that I did see, I saw that Flair and Foots, they kind of step back from the complex styles that they have, like with the quicker rhyming and stuff like that, the inner schemes. I noticed that they took a more conventional style. Just in the clips that I saw, was that the overall theme throughout the battle? Did they step back from their traditional style and do a more conventional 2-on-2, or were they themselves throughout the battle?
A little bit of both. One round was definitely more conventional 2-on-2. Another
Mhm.
round, they definitely decided to get in a bag. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? They're real intricate guys. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So people around me were like, I've never seen Flair and Foots. I'm like, oh, you're gonna like them because like they're very explosive and they're really interesting. And honestly, they're future stars of the league. Like I might sound like a little bit disinterested in the battle. I just felt like I definitely, Titus expresses a lot. He wanted to see them now progress one on one. He wanted to see them both have a one on one test to see
Yeah.
how they fare out individually. And I think now I'm ready to see what's next for both of them individually because the 2-on-2 was cool. Um, it was a cool battle, man. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, man. Sounds like there's no more to say, man. Let's move on to the next battle player.
Shout out to Flair and Foots. To see a lot of his peers give them a lot of props, and a lot of his peers are telling both of them, "You guys are future stars." And Smack gave him a great like, "Oh, this is my future gunners," like So like the
My
future is
favorite
bright for
thing is
both of
that
them. Yeah,
the supporters of Foots, they call them the Foot Clan. I think that's hilarious, or the Foot Soldiers, the Foot Clan.
yeah,
I just think
yeah,
that's hilarious, man. It's too funny.
yeah. Let's keep powering through. We got four more battles. I know we
Oh,
both got
let's
a
go.
boogie board soon.
Yes,
So
sir. Let's make this happen.
after that was a T Top and Real Name Brandon and solid battle. Honestly, Brandon is really trying to improve, and he made some adjustments as far as like this content hit a little bit harder. I think he had like a slight stumble, I believe, in the second round. Was it
Hmm.
either second or third round? One of the later rounds, he had like a real slight stumble, but it wasn't nothing too massive. But the point is, like, he is giving the effort to improve, and you can visually see, like, oh, he wants to get better. He's heard the criticism. He wants to step it up. And T Top is just a fundamentally sound guy. T Top is easily one of the best 4 or 5 performers that night. The Bears ready to work this year, got his feet wet for 2023, put his foot on the gas pedal, never look back. I really like T Top's performance. And I really want to see Brandon against, I guess, a bit lower level competition. Now that we've seen him against Suge, T Top, Fonz, Nitty. Um, against T Top he competed the most out of all of those names, but I would like to see him take a name that's a little bit more in his ballpark.
Now you said that, you can clearly see that Brandon wants to get better and he's trying to get better. Did
Yeah,
he get better in this battle?
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I definitely think like from like his nitty battle and on, like he's been trying to like step up the tempo a bit more. And I've noticed it. And I like that for him. You know what I'm saying? Because there's moments where like some of the bars hit, some of the bars don't. But if you're engaged and the delivery is going, because he's real thunderous, he can perform a little bit more than he has been prior. He's got the energy and presence on the stage to really like command that room. He just hasn't been commanding it to his capabilities, I would think. But he's got the stuff there to work with. You know what I'm saying? So he had a solid battle. It was a
All
good back
right.
and forth. Good back and forth.
All right.
Definitely
All right.
definitely competitive. If you said Brandon won, actually probably wouldn't even argue with you.
Oh, okay.
You know,
All right. See that one when it drops. Moving on,
facts.
player.
Then we had Sheed and Suge, and oh no, actually we had Danny and J2 before Sheed and Suge.
Oh,
Ooh,
the
ooh.
son, there's some clips floating around on there from that battle and ridiculous. Pause, no freaky.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The wrong clip goes viral. We might lose Danny Myers to to that war online. You don't want to be a part of that war online, sir. You know. But
Oh my God.
his first round was fire. He's clicking on all cylinders. I think Smack kind of set up J2 for like he kind of set him up a little bit because he's like, all the ladies come to the stage and he put all the ladies behind J2. He got Don Lady, had
Oh my
Moni, had all the
God.
female battle rappers behind J2, and then out the gate, Danny has like a rebuttal about like, oh, you got all the baddies behind you, like so. So it's like
Yo,
Smack, look you
Smack's face while J2 was rapping was just hilarious, son. Like Smack, he looked like he's thinking about his taxes, like how where he's gonna get his car detailed. What I'm saying? Like what time he got to pick up his kid for like basketball practice. I'm like, yo, this brother was just like gone, man. I'm like, what's happening right here, Smizzle?
Yeah, honestly, I really did like Danny's first round a lot. His second round was a bit more graphic than his first round. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of gay bars
He
and
he talked
some
about the catfish gate too, man. In our he said,
he
how
said,
all the blick pics were out, and J2 was out there saving them. And J2, to his credit, made a moment out of it by going, "I was scrolling. I didn't save none of them. I didn't save none of them. I was just scrolling." And they,
yeah,
they
yeah,
embraced and hugged it. Like I felt like
yeah,
that stuff like that kind of takes the energy. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to say uncomfortable energy because it's like, look, man, we're all adults here. People do what they do. They choose who they choose. It should not matter to your life. You know what I'm saying? But we all know this is a hyper masculine sport, quote unquote, and this and that. And, it's still finding its way to accept, everyone and stuff like that. And J2 is a pioneer, man. He's stepping out there and he's like, hey, this is who I am. I'm not here to bother you. I'm just here to rap. So moments like that, I felt like allowed everyone to just have a good laugh and just be like, all right, man, I could just enjoy this. You know what I'm saying? Because Catfish Gate was kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like fools should not have been caught out there like that, looking wild. You know what I'm saying? And happens to everybody. I mean, look at comedian Godfrey. You know what I'm saying? He got catfish for a year from a woman that he never met in real life, and he started claiming as his
yeah,
girlfriend, and she tried to scam him out of 188,000. Like this is
yeah.
crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I want to, I
But
want to, I want to push back on the word everybody because it couldn't be me though.
hey, man, not me either, brother. Could be me. I'll
Couldn't
tell you
be
that much, man.
me. Yeah, y'all be safe though. Y'all be safe.
Be safe, man. Y'all getting catfished by fake battle rap
Yeah,
baddies. Like y'all need some prayer in y'all life, man.
yeah.
Word.
I need a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Danny's third round against J2 was real direct about how like feminine men are now like adopting all feminine traits because there's no man or father figures in the home and everybody's being raised by women and it was just
Mm,
it
mm.
was it was a very heavy content angle that I don't necessarily think that I fully agreed with, or the at least the way that it was presented. And also, I'm not sure if the
Was it the
messenger,
messenger and not the message?
maybe that too.
Uh-huh.
I just say this: I like that round the least out of the 3 rounds, but there was
Mm,
no rounds that I felt like I could really say J2 walked away from like clearly winning. Like maybe his
okay.
third round, because if you didn't like Danny's angle, it definitely felt a little bit more flat with the crowd. Like people were like, "Oh, I didn't like this round as much as his first two," and I don't know. I don't know what round I could give J2 or love to watch it back, but I definitely Danny's first was the highlight of that battle for me.
Hey man, I'm just glad Danny didn't pull one of those. You're not drugs, I'm drugs. Kind of round in the third round because that kind of got crazy.
Yeah,
but uh, but you know what? I hear where he's coming from with the third. You know what I'm saying? I hear where he's coming from because hey, listen, man. There's some truth to it. You know what I mean? You don't always do what you're told. Since a lot of times you do what you say, and you pick up habits from what you see in your household. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's some merit to what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? I got to hear the whole round to see. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, he's 100% telling the truth. I got to hear the
how he,
entire round,
yeah,
but you know how he broke it down. But you know, some merit to what he's saying. You know what I mean? We see it displayed all the time, man. People out
J
here all
two.
demonstrative with their hands, yelling and this and that. It's like relax. You know what I'm saying? Chill.
Yeah, J2 is definitely better this time than the first battle, so he's improved.
Hmm.
He's made the adjustments. He's solid on the stage. I like to see if he could get into a bag where he chain punches more,
Okay.
or gets into a nice little. I don't even want to say like AMG, but just finds a nice like multi-syllabic pocket to get into, because J2 could rap, but I like when he kind of like has a moment where he's like in a solid 8, 12 bar like pocket, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I got a lot of that from him. But he gave A1 effort on that stage, did not back down. Uh it's just Danny's a relentless competitor, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts, man. Salute to Danny with the red and gray Wolverine beard, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute, Danny.
it's Danny's fifth rematch, and then he's got another one right afterwards. So just
Yeah, yeah. Crazy. All right,
uh,
man. Let's power through these last two, player.
yeah, so Suge and Sheed. Honestly, I actually really like the battle despite the energy in the crowd, because those are two high interval energy guys that like feed off the crowd and are big on performance. And we're 6.5 hours into the day on the second day of two battles, a 2 day
Yeah.
battle event. So the crowd is just that's it. We're done. We're
Right,
cooked.
right.
We're cooked. You know what
Fatigue,
I'm
battle
saying?
fatigue, man. From the
Yeah.
audience.
There's a lot of fatigue. I do feel like Suge's pacing in the first round was a little bit faster than normal. So, Suge,
Yeah.
just bouncing around, but it's a little faster than normal. So, it wasn't registering as much. And then She's first round was pretty good, but it was a super competitive round. Like I feel like the first is debatable. No one won that first round clear, and then they both
Hmm.
split the last 2 rounds evenly. Like Suge's second round was much more of the Suge that we like and know, and he had that round clear. She second round started kind of funny when he was like, "Well, are the ladies in the building?" And the ladies in the building like, "Yeah, cheering." And he goes, I need y'all to shut the fuck up for this." And then somebody in the back goes, "I got a fat pussy now." And the whole
See,
crowd.
this is what Daddy's talking about. It's like no no one's asking you nothing about that. Yo, you open up Twitter, that's the first thing you see, man. Like just women just declaring they got fat cats. I want my butt ate. I want this. I want that. And it's like, who's gonna marry you? Like you're online just talking crazy. Like
Hold
I'm
on,
sorry,
hold
I'm
up.
sorry, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
man. I'm sorry. See
Stand
me and Danny
down.
the same age, man. So I'm just sorry, bro.
Stand down.
You put
Stand
the
down.
chopper away, man. My bad, player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just
So
saying,
that
but you see, that's Twitter in real life, yo. In real life.
something was wrong with this crowd all weekend. This crowd was just something else.
Oh
So
my god.
so when that happened, she was like, he kind of got thrown off, and then he got back into it, and he kind of
Yeah.
built up to a punch that didn't even really pay off. So, but his third round was funny because he opened up about an angle. He was like, "I hate when people talk to you about what happened with Calico in Detroit, That was 10 years ago. Can y'all leave it alone? And then proceeds to talk about it anyway.
I figure I saw the setup coming from a mile away.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not gonna talk. I'm tired of people talking about it, but I'm gonna talk about it differently than everybody else talked about it. And it was working. It was good. But this one was really interesting. In the middle of She's round, DJ Danny Ocean, shouts to DJ Danny Ocean. I think he hit a button by mistake, and a drop happened in the middle of the round. It's like DJ Danny Ocean, and it just like was like it cut She from rapping, and it got real awkward. She was like, and then she made a rebuttal of it on the spot about like DJ cutting up some, and it like exploded in the room, and everybody got crazy for it. And I was just like, at first I'm like, he set this up, he did this on purpose, he did this on purpose.
Good. Did you holler at him? Did you see if it was on purpose?
I went to Danny. I was like, "Yeah, not low." Danny's like, "No, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. I swear. I'm so embarrassed." I was like, "Bro, I've watched too much Jerry West battles to know when an antic is coming." All right, y'all set this up. He's like, "No, I swear." And then I asked Sheet, I'm like, "Did you set this up?" He's like, "No, this is really a freestyle." I'm like, "When have you freestyled?" I haven't seen it. But
hey, man, this is the first time for everything, player.
Yeah, so they listen. If that's the case, I mean, even if it was planned, it would work. So big salute if it was planned, but it wasn't planned. So bigger salute to the fact that you were able to be spontaneous in that moment.
Facts.
So they split the last 2 rounds versus debatable. We'll see how people feel about it when they watch it back. Good battle, good content. Just it lacked energy. Definitely had some air balls, and the pacing and timing was a bit off for both of them at some points. But listen, She has been inclining for a lot of his performances. He was probably due to hit a wall somewhere. If you're gonna hit a wall like this is the most net positive way to hit a wall, where it's like you don't lose clearly. You still walk away with debatable, and it wasn't a bad performance.
Can't be mad at that.
Feel me? And main event.
The main event, man. If we were to take bets over and under, would there have been a almost fight in this battle of this weekend? I definitely would have taken that bet. And there was 2 of them this weekend. You know what I'm saying? And Tay Roc was involved in another one. So
yeah.
Besides that, let's talk about the rapping first, and then we could talk about everything that happened within the battle. Talk to me, player.
Tay Roc has he found this real interesting trick that he did with the Snake Eyes battle, right? You remember his like 32 bar, 3 multi-syllable rhyme pattern, and it just keeps just punching and punching and punching. And you might have some OBCs in the middle of it, but you sacrifice that for the sake of staying in the pattern to consistently punch for a long period of time. He did it again against Stumbles, but in the first round, out the gate. Well, not out the gate like in the beginning, but he built up to it. And at some point in his first round, he did it again. Like normally I would have thought him to like use it later on in the battle, second or third round. But he said, I'm gonna do that again in the first round. He was going on for this pattern for another 32 bars. And the crowd was eating it up. He's like, hey, shit, it worked in a small room. Let me do it on the stage.
Why not? Found a new move.
Crowd loved it. Crowd fucking loved it. Stumbles' first round was pretty good. Out the gate, Stumbles is really good at introducing his round with a quick haymaker. And he had a bar about like every time I try to spell rock, it came with a K,
Okay.
So a couple of little slick lines. Like Stumbles is always gonna have a handful of slick lines, you know what I'm saying? And a handful of explosive lines as well. But I gave Rock that first round. Then the scuffle happened with like the fan. It kind of threw my energy off for like the second round. I couldn't even really process it the way that I would have liked to.
Once again, entourages, because that was Stumbles' boy. You know what I mean? And in the previous thing, I was saying that if you're not able to control yourself, maybe you should be by the bar. Well, this guy was in the audience, far away from the stage, but still managed to deter from the battle, to distract the battle, to take away the attention from the rappers, to put it all on himself, to take all of the energy away from your man who's getting paid to be on stage and your man who's given an opportunity to battle a battle rap legend in a highly contested, highly controversial battle. And here you are putting all the attention on yourself and taking it away from your boy and not giving him the proper shine or the proper light. From what I saw was absolutely nothing. Like he had no reason to do it, and just full of distractions for no reason, man.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. It made it
Everybody
really.
want to be seen.
I don't want to say it ruined the battle because Rock, I think, was out of his. This is his third time this is happening. Obviously, the Kid Slay battle, the Snake Eyes battle, and now the Stumbles battle. The irony that all three of those guys have
I
also
mean,
all
it's more
battled.
than three, but
No, I'm saying this it's happened 3 times in a row now.
Okay, got you. Yeah,
Like his last three
yeah,
battles.
yeah. I
It,
mean, at some point, we talked about this. You invite people invite certain energies into their lives, and then it consistently shows up. You keep campaigning, you're gonna get elected. My fear is that at some point in time, all of this almost is gonna turn into all out mayhem. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be like, and then people are going to look back at it and go, it didn't even need to go this way. You know what I'm saying? So, like, always inviting this energy to the stage and into your battles and stuff like that. I don't know Rock personally. The times that I did see him, he was a very cool dude, like, like very humble, very chill and stuff like that. And it's like, yo, things are going great in life. Like, this energy that's been surrounding you, it's like, yeah, shake it at some point, man. Like, this is getting unnecessary, and not just Rock. Other people in the culture who've been talking crazy and inviting this dark cloud over the battle rap community and these venues and stuff like that, talking about, well, I could bring my hammer to any state and this and that, and I've got my hammer here. Not Rock. I'm not saying Rock. I'm just talking about
yeah,
other folks.
in
And
general,
it's like,
right?
okay, so you're gonna be standing outside bringing your hammer with his 100 200 cameras out there, and you're gonna do what? Like, what are we doing here? Like, we don't need this energy surrounding the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, just leave it alone. Don't speak about it. Just let it be, man. Because the day something crazy like that happens and it's captured all on camera, and it's all over the y'all want to go viral, y'all want the mainstream media to cover this. When this happens, what you think is going to happen to the culture? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just inviting everyone to just chill, invite some positive energy to the culture, and just relax. It ain't that serious, man. Brothers are making bread to rap, and we making bread off of talking about them rapping. What are we doing? Like, this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Well
Sorry,
said.
France. I went on a
No,
rant, man. My
no,
bad, player.
and it's okay because honestly, like our day two articles coming out Tuesday. We need to really stop the process. Like, what do we do with Rock's performance? Because like it was really good, but that whole
Yeah,
thing happened and it kind of just threw the energy off. And second round, I don't really even have a winner for the second round, and I just know the
yeah,
third round Rock kind of cut it shorter than the first 2 rounds on some like, all right, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
Stumble's third round wasn't even. I don't want to necessarily say like he ran away with the round neither. So I don't know who won the battle to be honest. I know it's a
Okay.
cop out, but it ultimately is. So this is the third battle I've seen live of Rock that has featured like something that has really affected the way that we would be entertained by the battle.
Yeah,
And I want to see him get back to just not having those moments in his battles. You know what I'm saying?
I concur, brother. I concur, man. Like, just give us some good, clean battles, man, and keep the tension within the bars. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, keep that within the
but I do feel
bars,
like
man.
I do feel like we put a lot of it on Rock. There's a lot of it also on Stumbles too. I'm glad you also
Oh, no, no,
made
no.
sure.
I didn't say no, no. I didn't say this was Rock's fault. I said, it
Yeah,
was Stumbles' man is in the
yeah, okay.
audience, and somehow, now it's with Rock and Stumbles yelling at each other. Like, I could take that within battle rap because we've seen that the crowd gets hyped. Yeah, yeah. But now it's like you have an outsider who's not part of the two contracted rappers, because I didn't think Stumbles and Rock was going to fight. They didn't even look like they wanted to touch each other at all. So
Oh,
I'm not putting.
but they got heated though. It got heated with
No, no, no.
between them
It got
two.
very heated with the yelling, but at no point did I feel like one dude was gonna punch the other dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just saw them yelling, and I'm like, oh yeah, we've seen this before in battle rap. But now you got this guy here yelling. Now Twork has to yell at this person, and now you got other people making moves in the crowd and positioning themselves, and other entourage guys who now want to be the muscle. And then when interviews are happening, they want to position themselves and this and that. And I'm like, this is too much. Let the rappers rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're selling the thing, they're entertaining, they're yelling at each other. Cool. This wasn't like Slade and Rock where I felt like, you know what, man, some more yelling, this could go, ham. I feel like even Stumble said it. Stumble's like, yo, I'm not here to fight at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to like rap. And Rock has said it plenty of times. I'm not here to mess up my back end. So I just felt like they were just, doing the rapper part or whatever, but
Yeah,
it's the other people, you know
not
what I
even to cut
mean?
you off. It's just this is just exhausting. This is the third time this has happened now.
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah,
it's just like, it's like damn again. But I'll
yeah,
say this
yeah,
though for Stumbles, he was clean every round. I think he has shown us who he is mostly,
yeah.
like somebody you can rely on to. If he's clean, he's gonna come with some really dope one-liners, some dope explosive punches. He's gonna be confident. He's gonna display his personality. Still want to see him get a little bit more structured. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because it's only going to help him down the road. But I think we know who Stumbles is. Tay Roc definitely got back into his bag even after the scuffle. So salute to him for being a professional and powering through and finishing the battle. And I wish none of that took place because it started off really good.
Hey man, it is what it is, right? Hate
There's a
to
lot
end
of
it.
energy. There's a lot of energy, bro. Tru Foe and the fan, cleaning the Ace. This woman talking about her cat's a she, rocking this. Like maybe we need another small room event where we watch it from home, where we can cleanse everything
Maybe,
again.
man. Good
Maybe I
grief,
don't
man.
know.
We need to sage the the community.
Oh man, I think we gotta end it on that one. I think we gotta end it on that
Hey
one. They
man,
got
on that note, listen, man, everyone, thank y'all for rocking with us again on another big Monday. I want you guys to log on to letstalkbattlerap.com and get the full exclusive recap articles. It'll be way more detailed, and you're gonna get some other insight that you didn't get from the podcast. All right. And if you want up to the minute news and quotes, and you want to follow what's going on second by second in this culture, there's nowhere else to go but our socials. So follow us on IG, follow us on Twitter at LTBR Podcast. All right. Until next week, y'all. Everybody, man, just take a deep breath. Woosah. You know what I'm saying? And just relax a little bit, man. Until next week, France, has been a pleasure. I'm glad we got to do this, and I want you to get back home safe, my brother. And we'll see y'all next week, man. Peace.